Hello everyone. Good evening interwebs, how are we? First things first, as usual, can everyone hear me? Can you see me? Am I waving my hands around and nothing's coming out? Let's have a look. Is anyone saying anything in the chat? Who have we got? Sandy, Doty, hi everyone. Johan, Simple Fish Life, Ben, how's it going? Devon Peppers, and Mr. Doogie Hunter. I did this a little bit impromptu, shall we say. So, Ben, I hope you weren't planning to do a live stream and I've stolen your thunder. If you are, by all means, kick me off and I will go away. But if you're not, then welcome, join in. All good, thank you very much. So, as I said a minute ago, I decided about 40 minutes ago that I was going to do this live stream tonight, because I'd planned to do it on Friday and didn't get back in time. I planned to do it on Saturday and something else got in the way. And I thought, well, I've not done one this weekend. I'm trying to go for a little bit of consistency, so we'll see if we can get one going. And at least I'm here, so it might not be interesting quite yet, but hopefully we'll get into it a little bit more and something will come of it. Johan, let's see if Graham looks as criminal as the last live stream. Well, I don't know, I've got a week's worth of growth. I haven't shaved anything. This is my entire head. I think I've shaved once here, but the rest of that's my normal hair growth, if you ignore the shiny bits. And Dad, if you're watching this, there will be no grandchildren in this video. They're all asleep apart from one. And for everyone else, sometimes my dad likes to watch the videos and he likes to get a bit of a helping hand to let him know whether or not it's worth watching, because he doesn't really interested in the fish. So whether or not we end up talking about fish, because we might do some related things tonight, there are definitely going to be no grandchildren. So yes, who else have we got in the chat? Let's announce yourselves, people. Say hello. Got my requisite 1 drink limit, but I went for the big massive can just so that didn't look too silly. We literally just got 6 people watching me at the moment. I'm not even sure how this stream's going, because I'm getting no dropped frames or anything like that, but everything's hanging a little bit. So it says I've got 19 people watching me, so hello to all 19 of you. And as I said, nothing was planned here tonight, so I put out a bit of a request on all the social medias to see if anybody wanted anything in particular to talk about. And no, not really. Someone mentioned Van Halen. I've never really been a fan of Van Halen, so I don't know much about it to talk about it one way or the other, or him. And the other one was about floods and how to keep your partner / wife / girlfriend / whatever happy. I know a lot about that because I tend to flood something at least once a week. And that's just made me think, have I turned off the tap in the fish room? I think I did. I'll soon hear a scream, because I think I can hear my wife going downstairs. But yeah, I'm the most forgetful person in the world, so generally I like to flood things once a week. I think the last big flood I had was last week when I tried to fill up my main discus display tank. You'll know if you've watched any of my videos. It has a sump underneath, and it also has a reservoir for auto top off. And I always refill that manually, put in the hose from the HMA, etc., set it off, then go, oh, flashing lights, oh, twinkly, and then completely forget about it, and I've come back and God, there must be 100 litres of water overflowing there. So I'm not very popular when I do that one. I try not to let anyone know and just get in there with all the towels in the house, and then it's more about explaining why all the towels are wet rather than why there's water leaking through the kitchen roof. But there you go. So if you've seen that a lot of my videos are about automation and about fail safes and things like that, it's because I'm ridiculously, I was going to say unlucky, but it's not unlucky, it's my own fault. I don't manage to ever remember things. So if there's an opportunity where something will flood or overflow, 9 times out of 10 I will take it. So I'm all about setting alarms and setting reminders and all that kind of stuff, but it never works because I always end up just wandering about aimlessly looking at blinking lights or anything that takes my fancy. So if you're trying to maintain a relationship and you flood a lot, I have no words of advice. Find someone that you're not too scared of that's not going to beat you up if you do flood the place. I just get the raised eyebrow every now and again because I managed to hide most of them. Anyway, what are we saying? The budget Aquarius, yes, it was you with the Van Halen versus Van Hagar. It was an American joke. Okay, I don't get it, but fair enough. I get where the Van Hagar comes from, but that's because of the hair, is it not, mostly? Yeah, but I don't know much about them. Please talk about shrimp and the best shrimp to breed for profit and colour. I wish I could, to be honest. Devon Peppers, sorry. But my only real experience is with cherry shrimp. I've started looking into it a bit more, but not to a level where I'm confident enough to talk about it. And you may have heard me talk about it before, basically. So this is one of my many cherry shrimp tanks. And if I was to give out advice for how to keep cherry shrimp or the secrets for keeping cherry shrimp, I just don't have any. I literally put in 10 cherry shrimp about 2 years ago, and now I have 1 million. I have not done anything special. The only special thing I've done is I've got some Indian almond leaves, which I pop in every now and again into my shrimp tanks. But other than that, nothing. They just seem to get on really well with the water that I've got around here. I'm going to have to... the PC that's running this stream and my computer is right next to me and it's going completely mad for some reason. I think I might have too many programs open or something, so bear with me a second to see if I can quiet it down slightly so it's not constantly fans and rushing noises and things coming on. So yeah, cherry shrimp I would say are a great shrimp to start breeding from because they're very popular, everybody's always after them, and the thing that I've done mostly is swap them rather than sell them. But I've sold quite a few. But to keep the colony healthy and going, you try and get shrimp from other places. So that's the key to longevity, I think, is mixing them up and getting the genetic pool as wide and as deep as possible. I know people talk about minerals and whether you put in mineral balls or calcium balls and various other things, but I think my go-to stuff is Java moss, planted tanks, somewhere to hide so the shrimp can get away from the fish, because I tend to keep guppies and shrimp together. I know some people say that they get eaten, but I've never noticed a problem, or if they are getting eaten, they're so prolific that it's not making a dent. But yeah, guppies and shrimp are a good combination, I think, for breeding for profit, because they're both prolific breeders, and what more can you want than that? But other than that, if you were having problem with shrimp, for instance, I wouldn't know where to start, to be honest. I can recommend a good channel for it, though. There's a channel called Simple Fish Life. It's a good channel, but it's not to do with shrimp. But Simply Shrimps, run by Nathan. He's sometimes in the chat every now and again. I'm planning to do a collab with him at some point to talk about shrimp and me moving on to the next stage and various other things. Because I'm interested in just branching away from your neocardinia and your regular red cherry shrimp and moving on to something different, whether it's sticking in the neocardinia and just moving into different colour morphs and things like that, or just going into different things altogether. So check out Simply Shrimps, because it's a great channel. It's way better than my channel in terms of camera work and effort that he goes to for putting in great content and things like that, so you'll get a bonus no matter what. Anna Smith, hello, how are we doing? Adam78 bought his first 8 discus tonight from Corbin Discus. Well chuffed. So you will have seen the new shipment. I've got shrimp on the mind now, the new shrimpment. So he's just had a new shipment in, hasn't he? I've not been over to see it myself. But you've just got 8, so you must be very chuffed, as you say, and very skint, no doubt. I bet that cost a pretty penny. Definitely don't try and kill them all. Yes, that's a good idea. What have you got then? Let us know. What did you get? Have you got all the same type, or have you got a mix? Did you go for adults or juveniles and all that kind of thing? Let us know. Do I play that guitar? That one there? Very occasionally. That's about it. I won't, and you're definitely not going to get me to do it on camera because I only know about either the start or the middle. I know loads of songs, but only the start or the middle. Don't think I can do one all the way through. The breeding pair of discus, they are not breeding. I moved them downstairs, as you know, a few weeks ago. I thought that we could get them going in the fish room, but I've not really had time to get them going or to give them a bit of a jump start. I was up here, I was doing it where I would do a large water change or a cool water change, which would get them going and spawn them. I've not really had the chance because I've been very busy at work, and so they've just been on the constant water change that I have down there, and either I've missed it and they've been eating their eggs as they've been going on, or they haven't been doing anything. So I made the decision last week or a bit before that I was going to give them a break from the breeding, because since I've had them, they've either been in this tank here, which the lights have just gone off. I shall switch that back on in a second. They've either been in this tank here as a breeding tank or downstairs as a breeding tank. So I want to give them a bit of a break and let them into the big tank. So I've been doing some acclimation with some of my existing discus just to make sure that there's no cross-contamination problems and things like that. And they will soon be ready. There's been no problem so far, so they will soon be ready to go into my big discus display tank, and I'll give them 6 months in there, see how they get on, basically. Let me go and turn this other light back on. But it's all very boring, I must admit, in the fish room and the fish tanks around here. Pretty much nothing's been happening. And I've not been doing that much because I've been so busy at work at the last few weeks. So I've got no new fish to talk about. I've got no new equipment, really. Well, apart from the CO2 that I got for this tank. Need to get my right way round. Because I've just not had much time to do much. So it's all about maintaining, and that's why I have everything as automatic as possible, as I was talking about earlier. Hey, so Ben has flooded his sump twice. What device and alarm do you use? I use one of my children or wife to scream and shout and say, "What the fuck have you done? You've flooded the place." I do have water alarms. I'm hoping... I've actually been looking into water alarms recently because of the Felix system. You might have heard me talking about the Felix system or seen the adverts on Facebook. It's how to make your aquarium a smart aquarium. Essentially, any kind of probe or sensor you can hook up to it, and then you can control it and get alerted on your smartphone. So hopefully, if I get the right leak alarm, I'll get a ping on my phone to say, "You're flooding the living room again, you idiot, go and sort it out." But I've not found the one I want, and the ones that I've found so far have been hundreds of pounds, which is a bit of a kick in the nads. So I'm looking for some better devices. I might talk about Felix a little bit later and how I'm feeling about that, but let's catch up on the chat. Where have we got to so far? Yes, by all means, hit that thumbs up button, everyone. If you're here, let me know. Give me a like, give me a dislike, give me whatever you want. And remember, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because that really helps me out and massages my massive ego. What's my take on African cichlids? I've never had them. I look after a tank, so I run a small... I keep bumping into this, apologies. I run a small aquarium maintenance side business. It's not a business, I only look after about half a dozen tanks. And one of them is African cichlids. They just don't do it for me. I'm sure if I spent more time with it, I might get into it more. I like the fact that usually you have a lot of fish, because it's better to keep them overpopulated to get the aggression down. But yeah, it's just never been my thing. I went straight to discus, and when you go straight to the king of the aquarium, you wait, no need to check out the others. But no, I get why they would like them, and I can see myself liking them. I've just never kept them, so I don't know too much about them. Anything I'd change in my discus sump design if you were to do it again? I might have fewer chambers. That sump was designed with marine in mind, so that was always either going to be a marine tank straight away, or I was going to move it to marine eventually. I've probably changed my mind, and I don't think I'll ever make it marine, but never say never. So it's got sections for your pre-filters, for your sump, for your reactors, for your biomedia, for all that kind of stuff. I'd probably have had fewer sections maybe, but I don't know. It's good that it works for me, so I'm kind of happy. I'd be happy with it if I did it again from scratch. But you never know. I'd like to have a bigger section that I could do some kind of fluidized bed, but then it's in my living room, so that might be a bit loud, so I might not want to do that. I really like sumps, and I spent a lot of time thinking about how sumps should be designed, because I just think the volume of the water that they give you, so that's one thing I might have done. I might have raised it up a little bit, because it's quite a big sump. It's 4.5 foot, I think. I might have raised it up a bit so as it had more water in it when it was running, because even when it empties, so if I was to switch the pump off and simulate a power failure, when the tank empties as far as it'll empty, it still leaves a good few inches, which is probably another 100 or so litres of water, if not more. So I might do that. I might raise the baffles a bit to get more or a higher water volume in there. But yeah, I can't sing highly enough of the praises of sumps in general, just for hiding stuff and getting as much media as you can cram in. I can pretty much run several people's fish rooms with the amount of media I've got in that sump, and it's great for when a new customer's bought a new tank and they want to get going quickly. I can just take out a load of my media and give it to them, and that kickstarts their cycle and gets them going straight away. So that's what it is. Whether I'd change the design altogether or just make a few tweaks like that, that's probably where I'd leave it. You talk about carpeting plants and the best ones for a 10-gallon and the easiest ones to grow. Well, there's probably two different answers to that. The easiest ones are those things like, I did a series of videos on them called Magic Aquarium Seeds. You literally chuck them in, apply a little bit of water, and 3 or 4 days later you have, we've got a super chat. Thank you very much, Johan. I shall check that out in a second. A week later you've got yourselves a really quite decent carpet. But the problem I found was that it didn't stick, and it started to lift and float away even when I did the dry start method, so as it would root properly. It just didn't take, and I was forever picking them out. So they're the Magic Aquarium Seeds, or Glossima, or various other names they go by. Check out that video if you want to. The things like Cuba, which you buy in these little IV pots, they're really good, but tend to need really good light and fertilisation and CO2 and all that things to carpet properly. Otherwise you'll be waiting years for them to carpet. But for a 10-gallon tank, that would be perfect. You could probably get away with just one pot, split it up, then that makes a really nice carpet that I've done myself ages ago. I wish I'd kept it because it was a nice looking tank. And then the third choice maybe would probably be something like the Juncus repens I have in my discus tank, because that's a sand bottom, and that's one plant that it was one plant, and within the space of about 8 or 9 months I think it carpeted that entire tank, and it only had maybe half a dozen root tabs or something like that in there. So it's really good at taking nutrients from the water column, really good at sending out runners constantly, and you can cut them off and move them around if you want to. But that'll take over a tank, and it'll give you a good 3 or 4 inches worth of growth, but you can cut it right down. It's just like grass. Really nice green, so that might be useful as well. Again, that would be dead cheap. And if you're in the UK, you can buy it from aquariumadventures.co.uk. I can send you some of that. But if you're talking 10-gallon tanks and wanting to go a little bit high-tech, check out my last video about, I've got the box somewhere. I've got the box for a bit of it, but I got this in a bargain bin at my local fish store. It's like I call it an old-fashioned CO2 kit, because it's literally like a bell. What they used to do is get like upturned soda pop bottles or jeggy bottles as we call them, fill it up with CO2 and just leave it in there, and that would dissipate into the water column. So if you can see it there, I shall try and point it out. It's just this can, which seems empty, connected to a check valve, goes into there, and there's a bell there, which is that thing, which is the diffuser, and you basically just fill it up, and it fills up with CO2 and then slowly mixes back into the water. And if you've got half decent current, that's a fairly decent way to get CO2 in. It's not going to be the most cost effective or the most efficient ever, but for a small tank it's pretty good. I know I titled the last video I did Bad Gas because I was expecting it to be terrible, but I've actually been quite impressed. It's done alright. So that's probably as much as I can say about carpeting plants and things like that. So Adam's just picked up his new discus from Corman Discus. 3 Star Turk, 2 Fire Rubies, and 3 Red Leopards, but you could have got that wrong. You're going to have to make a YouTube channel or something and post some pictures on it, or a Facebook, something like that, along those lines. Turks, they're my favourite. I'm a classics guy. I like the originals. But yeah, you won't go wrong with some of the pictures that I've seen from Tim's been putting up. A lot of beauties have come in recently. Down the wormhole, nice to see you. Johan, is it Graham or Graham? I don't know how to answer that. It's Graham. It's the first one that you put there. The proper way, as I like to say. No question, only support. Oh, thank you very much. And we've got a new subscriber as well. It's all kicking off. I'll need to do these impromptu live streams more often. 2 super chats and a subscriber in the space of about, what, 20 minutes? Yeah, Discus Keeper thinks my name's Colin for some reason. You think you'll get some ICA discus down the road? Keep being drawn to them. Yeah, the wilds, I've often thought the same, but I don't like to... Oh God, I can't speak. I don't like to mix wilds and domestics. And it'd be quite an investment to have a whole tank full of wilds. But yeah, they look cool. And Rubius, great, easy to grow. Yes, indeed it is. Yes. I have used an algae scrubber. I built one for a video that I made, and I've probably still got most of the parts somewhere. Might have to dig that out and have another go at it. Yeah, it was this tank. I can't point at it. It was this tank here. It seemed to be overnight. It was looking pretty good. I could see new growth on all the plants, and then overnight it went bleh. Loads of black beer algae appeared, and loads of green algae and stringy, hairy algae. It was disgusting. So I spent, must have been 2 or 3 hours just meticulously picking it all off. So I've obviously not got the balance right, so that's why I've got the CO2, and I'll be paying a bit closer attention to it and see if we can get it under control. What else are we talking about? Towards the cost of a kilt for the next... I've already got a kilt. No self-respecting Scotsman doesn't have a kilt. I got married in a kilt. Hello, Sean from Australia. You're enjoying a good fart? Well, aren't we all? How many people have we got here at the moment? 25 for a live stream. I'd only announced half an hour before we started. That's pretty good. Thank you, Discus Keeper, for that super chat towards the cost of my next kilt. I will maybe do towards the cost of extending my next kilt, since I probably don't fit into it anymore. Yes, I got married in a kilt. That was my wedding present from my granny. She bought me that. And then flew it out to Vegas and got married in Vegas in a kilt. I got a lot of looks and funny stares that day. So what else have we got to talk about? So I've talked about my little cheap CO2 setup, and I'm loving it. I think it's my new favourite setup for any kind of small tank like that, because literally it just relies on me remembering to press a button. Whereas the other one with the canister and the regulator and all that, it's all really expensive kit, and it's still manual because I haven't bought a regulator yet. Whereas this is just me remembering to press a button. If I don't remember to press a button, no big deal. I can come in, press it later, I can let the excess out, all that kind of stuff. The kilts, they do expand, but I'm past that point now. No, I probably could get it fixed. It's just the way the tabs go together. I'm saying that as if I wasn't fat when I got married, but I was as well. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so I'm liking that. It was dead cheap to start. It'll probably cost me more in the long run, but who cares? You're struggling with blackbeard algae as well? Yes, as am I. I stopped one short of what I was trying to do to get rid of it in that tank. So I pretty much took all the plants out, pulled it off with my fingers, cut off what I couldn't see, with every intention to make up a hydrogen peroxide solution and give them a quick spray with, I'm doing the universal squishy bottle mime here, give them a quick spray with that and then give them a dip and put them back in again. That would have killed it off, that would have been fine. I just didn't have any, so I couldn't do that bit. So I did the cutting it off, I did the put them back in, and now I'm dosing CO2, which should help with it as well. And to be fair, it's definitely not come back and it's not getting worse. So hopefully I've caught it in time before it took over completely. A stretchy version of the kilt, I think that's just called like an elasticated skirt. Yeah, maybe when I get to like 10,000 subscribers or something like that, I'll do a live stream wearing a kilt. In fact, I might be wearing one now, you just don't know. The other thing that I did, which was more last weekend than this, was I've been going through various live foods to try and figure out how good or easy they are to keep going. So you've seen me talk about white worm cultures and things like that. So I've gone on to Daphnia and brine shrimp, so I'm culturing them down in my fish room. Brine shrimp, fine, I can get them to the baby brine shrimp stage, no problem. I was hoping to keep them going a bit longer and be able to feed them to the discus and various other things when they were adults, and a bit more of a meal, but I'm not getting them to last much longer, so I don't know whether it's me or whether it's the eggs I've got or anything like that. But the Daphnia seems to be going well. I've gone about a week now and I can see definite growth in the colony that I got there. So you can expect to see a video on all this soon, no doubt, but essentially I've just bought, I don't know if your local fish shop does this, but you can get the little starter packs, like 4 packs for £3 or something like that. So I stuck them in a spare aquarium, a bit of Java moss to keep it going, and just an air stone. And they've been going great. Sprinkling in a little bit of yeast, the active yeast you get to make bread and things like that. A little bit of that sprinkled in, makes the water go all cloudy, and when they've finished eating everything they need to eat, the water clears up again, sprinkle in a little bit more. And like I say, in about a week, the colony's at least doubled, if not. So that's looking really good, and it's quite a good food as well. I say that as if I've been eating it myself, but I haven't, obviously. It's quite a good food in the terms of nutritional value. Lots of people are saying very good things about Daphnia, and if you can get Daphnia growing well, then your fish will be very happy fish, and pretty much everything eats them as well, which is really good. You would hear bells ring if you would. No, you've lost me on that one. Is that about the elasticated kilt comment? Just leave my bells out of it, thank you very much. Discus Keeper's got his new tank set up. Alright, you bought an I can never say that. OAS, a Biomaster 600 filter, really well built. Yes, I've heard great things about those filters. They're a company that started donkeys ago, but they were primarily pond stuff, so their stuff is built to last. It's really good. They usually got, or the ones I've seen at least, they've got all self-cleaning mechanisms, so you never really need to open them or anything. So if the sponges get dirty, it's just got a little lever on it where you can empty out the sponge and it purges all out to the side, and it's all great. So that sounds good. So what new tank did you get? Did you end up going for a custom one? A mano shrimp took rid of the blackbeard algae. Yeah, that's a good idea. I don't have any amano shrimp. I've never kept them, I don't think. Or have I? I don't think I have, so I can't say for sure, but I know that people do use them for that. I'm not really a big fan of buying things to do a job, because then once the job's done, what are you going to do with them? But things like a Mano Shrimp are just cool. They're like just little miniature sea monsters. So you should do well with that. You got given a stinker keyring and dropped it and broke it. Oh dear. I was thinking about doing key rings myself, about a year or so ago. Or no, it's much more than that. It's got to be, I don't know, a couple of years ago anyway. I got that key ring, which came with an order of discus from Chen's Discus, I'm pretty sure it was. It doesn't say anything on it, it's just a picture of a discus. But it's awesome. Bottle opener, it's not meant to be, but it does. Knife, it's not meant to be, but it's sharp. But box cutter and opener and all that, yes, it does a great job. 4-year no quibble warranty with that, with the Owasi filter. Yeah, no, they're great stuff. And they're probably worth it. And the Rio 240 tank, I was looking at them myself before I got my custom tank. That was one of the ones that I wanted to go for. That's the dual range, aren't they? Or is that the Fluval? I get confused, but yes, they're lovely big tanks. Got to go, boys and girls. Thank you, Ben, for joining us. Great stream, Graham. Laters all, and hit that like button. Yes, and as always, go and check out Ben and his channel. He's got his own goal. I might have a goal to get to 5,000. He's got a goal to get to 500. So go and give him some love if you can. It will be appreciated by both him and me. Right, what else did I want to talk about? I'm famous. I'm internet famous in the fish world. I wonder if I can show you this. Let me just double check. I don't know if you've noticed, but the last couple of videos I've done, there have been guests doing the intro for me. So you'll have seen Ben, if you're still here, Ben, saying hello, I'm Ben from Simple Fish Life, blah 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 blah. And then we had Friday Fish Facts doing the same thing. So if any of you lot have got YouTube channels and you want to get a little bit of a shout out, oh hang on, I pressed the wrong button. If you want to get a bit of a shout out or a bit more exposure, by all means send me something like that, and I'll happily stick you in at the intro of my next video. This is just a bit of a fun thing to do. Let me just make sure the sound's not on. So, in a similar vein, the reason that I got the idea is because somebody else had it first and I stole it, so it's as simple as that. Why is that desktop bit so big? Yeah, who knows? We'll transition. So, the person I got the idea from was Sean from PicTech. So I don't know if you can hear any of this. If you can, let's get started. I'll shut up, but if you can't, I won't know anyway because there's a delay. So I'll just sit here and cross my fingers and hope that it's still working.
Everybody, this is Graham from Aquarium Adventures. And
who's that guy?
Content.
Who's that guy?
The original though. Two pieces of one.
So this was my comedy genius,
We're
PicTech. If you don't know about the channel,
we're watching PicTech.
It's this guy here, Sean from PicTech. Let's switch back, shall we?
Got a lot of great deals, and I can't wait to show you all of them.
He's a kind of artsy guy and does some crazy stuff. He's into steampunk stuff, all that kind of stuff. It's a great channel, loads of great content, loads of cool things that you think, oh, that'd be good, I wish I could do that. So he was saying, anyone want to do an intro for me? Because he started the same sort of thing, so that was my effort. So I decided to be a clone, because he has himself cloned in his videos and has conversations with himself and all that kind of stuff. So I just thought that'd be quite funny if I tried to emulate that, and you can see my dodgy editing skills there in play as I tried to figure out how to do that. That took me a lot longer than my last two videos combined, so there you go. So that's my little bit of fame for this week. I'm pretty sure it lost me some subscribers though, because I didn't notice the video had come out until today, but it came out the other day, Just at the same time, I lost about 40 subscribers. I thought, ah, right, okay, that didn't go as well as I'd hoped it would. But there you go. Let's jump back into the chat. Where are we at? Discus Keeper, seen a discus clock on Devotedly Discus site. Looks tempting. I need to find the price. I could help you out with that. You need to get on Facebook, join Discus Hobbyists UK, and a guy called Ray Weber, I think it is, that's making them. He's making them for all sorts of people, but I think I almost got banned for calling him out on it from that site. I'm not very popular on there at the moment, so I don't know whether I should be giving them a plug or not, but you're right, the clocks do look cool. Pardon me. They have a strict no selling rule unless it's discus clocks being sold by the owner. I've had a few, not arguments, a few discussions on there about double standards and things like that, and they got all upset with me, so we'll say no more about that just now. But yeah, they look pretty cool, so that's where you get them. Oddball Aquatics, nice to see you. And Vexing Cat from Oregon, hello there. And Mickey, how are you doing? How's the shrimp doing? They still alive? Didn't sell you any duds, did I? You could hear it, good. I'm glad that there's a bit of a delay here, so that's why I was wondering if there are any problems with anything. There's no point in me asking you because it takes you 5 minutes before you see it and then tell me that it didn't work. But anyway. So some of you saw it before me, yes. I just thought it was funny. No, the sponsorship from Stella still hasn't happened, even with all my product placement. Come on guys, put the word out there. Share this video to all your beer drinking friends. Get me a sponsorship from Stella. I'd much rather have that than Fluval or anyone like that. Yeah. Yes, that's him that's selling the clock. Ray Weber, I think his name is. Let me just double check that. If I'm still in the group. Yeah, not been kicked out yet. Yeah, a guy called Ray Weber. It's his wife. You need to, I think it's his wife or his daughter or sister or something. Keely Weber. But if you jump on there, there's like 3 million posts about clocks. And you can pick yours up there. I think they've got quite a weight, but they're pretty cool, so why wouldn't you go for it? What have you all been up to this weekend then? So, as I said, I was planning to do my live streams the last couple of days, never quite got around to it. Yesterday I spent the day, well that's not true actually, yesterday I went to the coast and the idea was to spend the day with seals, looking at seals. Now it's not quite aquariums, but I guess it's aquatic, sort of. But well, that was well cool. I didn't know that place existed. So there's the Lincolnshire coast. There's just like a billion seals. No idea what was going on there, but they've just all started giving birth. This is the seal birthing time, apparently. And that was awesome. So if any of you are in the UK, get yourselves along there. The Mablethorpe, Skegness, all that kind of place. There's a seal sanctuary, but there's a place you can just wander up. And they're literally giving birth there at the side of the fence and the side of the path, and just loads of massive seals wallowing around and baby seals wallowing around. It was brilliant. I might even try and bore you all senseless with some pictures of it. Let me see. I'm sure we can do that. How do we get back to desktop? No, that's the stop streaming button. We don't want to do that. So, as you're walking down the road, down the path, just a wee baby seal. As you do, just in the middle of the path. Not doing anything, not running away, not attacking us. It's mental. This gives you a bit more of an idea. Look at all these seals. Tons of them. And they're all, you could touch them if you wanted to. There is a fence. There's just lots of signs saying please do not touch, or you will lose fingers and things like that. My kids loved it. They thought it was brilliant. I'm going to bore you all now with seal facts, but did you know that... Looks like a mirror, this one. I thought that was cool, but that isn't. That's two separate families. The seal mums give up on them after 18 days, so they get 18 days to fatten up, and then the seals are like, nope, that's it, I'm off, I'm out of here. All the kids got a fear of God look in their eyes when they heard about that, saying, 18 days. But yeah, that's a little bit of a digression, but there you go, that was my day yesterday. It's just a bit weird. Right, Adam's off, he's got jobs to do and Discus to check on, as is Discus Keeper. Thank you for joining me. I know it was a bit stupid to start a late live stream on a school night, but you know. All the shrimp are doing great, even the tiny babies. Brilliant. You went looking at puffers today. I think I'm inspiring people all over the place to get into puffers. Well, brilliant. Why wouldn't you want puffers? All sold out. Oh, that's a bit gutting. 15 mini tiger barbs. Oh, interesting. They're one that, again, that I've always wanted to get but never quite got round to. 8 assorted nerite snails for your 200 litre tank there. I hope that's not all you've got in there. That's a bit of a waste of a tank, surely. Although, as much as I like snails, I've got snails in pretty much every tank I've got. But that's more because I've got puffers and I just need snails everywhere. Last question. What do you buy the wife when you periodically flood your house? Whatever she wants. It's as simple as that. If you're going to destroy the house because of your hobby, then nothing's too much for your wife. I don't think I've ever had to actually buy anything for her, but I've just definitely been in the doghouse. It's more about doing jobs and my fair share of things, more than likely. A wet and dry vacuum, yeah, that's a good idea. That's what you want to get your wife if you flood the house constantly, and then say it's mine. If you expect her to clean up your mess, then you're in a whole world of pain. You've got a place in Oregon where your sea lions breed. Oh, you would have to go and Tommy Top Trump me, wouldn't you? Yeah, sea lions are like the vicious version of seals, aren't they? I don't think she's watching because she would have come in and scalped me around the back of the head before now. Can't hear anything. Yeah, sea lions that come up to the rivers. Yeah, this was just weird. I was on the coast, but I've never seen, or I would never have imagined that you would have thousands and thousands and thousands of the little buggers or the big buggers. It was great, yeah. So if you're in the UK, get yourself down to the Lincolnshire coast and check out that stuff. It's brilliant. Do I tell her the true value of how much you spend? I don't have a choice because she has access to the joint bank account, so she sees everything that goes on. The puffers are hard to find in Australia. Oh, that's a bit gutting. Even the marine ones, because I think the marine hobby's a lot better in Australia, isn't it? That would be my... If I was going to go marine, that would be what I'd want to have. It would be a dog face puffer or something like that. Yeah, but they're awesome. They're just so personable, and I'm going to stop now because I say this on every live stream we have, how awesome puffers are. But yeah, they're great. So we talked about the discus breeding a little bit. In the fish room, there was... What else we got on down there? I've got rid of all the cribs. Well, all bar 2, I think. I've been breeding them for years now. And I go get some beer. My fault, sorry. I'm almost done, and then you can go and do whatever you want. That's how I time my live streams. When this gets to the bottom, I usually need a pee, and then we call it a day. But yeah. In the fish room, I've got rid of the oh God, I can't speak. Got rid of the cribensis in the fish room, so I've been breeding them for a few years now, and just couldn't get them to stop. Finally managed to find somebody that wanted a load to probably sell on, no doubt. So I've got at least one, possibly 2 free tanks in the fish room, and I'm really not sure what I'm going to do about it. So I've got the planted tank down there, that's doing well. I've had to take some space out of another tank for that because the plants are going mad. Again, aquariumadventures.co.uk for all your plant needs. I say that, I think I've only got 2 or 3 different plants on there at the moment. I need to update that. I've also got a load of biohome on there, so if you're wanting some filter media, let me know, we can do that as well. But yeah, I'm going to have a couple of spare tanks, so I'm thinking I might dedicate one of them to some kind of Corridora, possibly a Sterby. I know it's very plain, but they're good with discus, and I don't have any at the moment. So I might see if I can get some of them, breed them up, and get a whole colony going. Yeah, but what would you do with the other tank? You don't have to tell me now, so if you're watching this on the catch-up or whatever it is, by all means, stick a suggestion in the comments. Let me know what you think I should do with another tank. It has to be something that I can... probably something that I can breed, because I like to do little breeding projects in the fish room. Doesn't necessarily have to be something that has to be profitable that I need to sell, but something that's fun and interesting, and something that will fit in a kind of 2.5 foot by 1.5 by 1.5, no, 2.5 by 2 by 1.5 foot tank. Yeah, so I'm wondering what to get on with next. I'm thinking of going back to the basics and doing some like real basic fish like white cloud, mountain minnows, or the golden variant of them, or something along those lines. I'm not sure. A platy farm, yeah, that's a good idea. One of my other local fish shops, and I keep going back and missing them, but they've got some proper guppies. I don't know if I want to say it like that, but all mine are mutts. They're all mutt guppies, or fancy guppies as they would be called. But they've got some, yeah, that are proper bright, so I might get some of them for one of the other tanks. But yeah, maybe some dwarf cichlids or something like that, rams maybe, or I don't know. So that's where my head's at for what I'm going to do with that spare tank that I've got down there. So I've now reached the bottom of my list of things I managed to scribble down in half an hour while I was debating whether or not to have this live stream. So anything from now on is ad-libbed or answering your questions. So if we finish early, it's your fault. Hey, what have we got here? The revenue of the super chats are going to a Swiss bank account. Yeah, I don't get quite enough money for a Swiss bank account. There's a guy in Germany who breeds puffers. I think the name is Dietzenbach. I think it is too. Oh, I'm not sure if that's his name. I think it is. Yeah, there are several guys in Germany actually. There's one who, I think it was Aquarium Co-op, went over on one of his Germany trips and met a guy that bred lots of different species of puffers. I can see myself turning into that guy in like 10 years' time or something. Because puffers are awesome. But there's a few others. Germany seems to be quite big on their puffers as well, so yeah. They are cool though. So we've got Cynodontis perticola dwarf, loved by African cichlid enthusiasts. Yeah, and I don't hate them either. They are pretty cool. I've never kept them again. Shelley's another one from the Pessimistic Optimist. Yeah, because they're quite prolific breeders, aren't they? And I really like some of those ones. I can never remember the name of them. But yeah, yes, indeed. I might actually look into that, because I saw some that I did the old chin scratching thing at one of the local fish shops last time I was in there going, yeah. But that was before I sold the cribs and I didn't have space for them. Sharpies, models and aquatics. I started with 2 platies in September. I now have about 50. Do you know, I've never bought a guppy, and I must have thousands of the little buggers. Somebody gave me them when they were moving house and said, can you look after these? I went, yeah, fine. And yeah, I've now got a bazillion of them. But they're all like mutts. They're all mixed. They're nothing special. Well, some of them are pretty cool. Rams or Apistos. Yeah, I did Apistos. I didn't really get on very well with the Apistos. They bred for me once, and the fry never made it past a week, I think, and then they never bred again. So, yeah, some of the Apistos are pretty cool. That might work. I've had rams before. I've bred German blue rams before, successfully once, and again, never again. And rams are pretty good discus tank mates as well, so I might go for them. The Shelleys, they're great to watch. Yes, I do like them. And then the king of DIY might call me a copycat, 'cause he did them as well, didn't he, for one of his tanks. And we couldn't have that. Yeah, I'm not sure what to go for there. I guess it's a good problem to have. It's like the football manager that has too many players. I'm the fish keeper with too many tanks, and I don't know what to fill them up with. So I can't complain too much. What else have we got out there? Give me some more suggestions. Or has anyone got any questions? So we're coming up on an hour. I think we'll be calling it a quit around about then. Calling it a quit? That's not even how you say that. We will be calling it quits around about an hour. He probably did kill them. I haven't heard hide nor hair of them since, have we? We could say what we want about him now, because apparently he's not got any internet access because of the storms. No, let's not go down that road. So, I'm expanding the plants, because 2018 has been my year to learn about plants and get better at them. I think 2019 and 2020 also need to be my year about learning about plants, because I've definitely not got it yet. I know when we've got a problem, I'm just not quite entirely sure how to fix it all the time. So some of the tanks downstairs have been taken over by particularly easy to grow plants like water sprite and things like that, which will grow in a bucket you keep under the stairs from my experience. But I'm trying out a few different plants downstairs. I need to do a video update of what's going on in the fish room, so as people can catch up down there, because I've not shown that for a while, so that'll be one of my next videos. The discus breeding, that's going to pause for a few months, unless they kick off again in the display tank, but you never know. I'm hoping to get a few more discus as well, so if Adam, who's now gone, has been over to Tim, I hope he hasn't taken the best ones, because I'm hoping to go after Christmas and get myself some. So that'll be my next big purchase, I think, fish-wise. I might go all out with the CO2 and try and rig up some kind of fish room CO2 system. But other than that, I'm not entirely sure. So, last chance everyone. I think we've got 20 odd people here. If you've got anything you need to know, speak now or forever hold your peace, or at least until next week. I'll try and get back into the Friday night or the Saturday night. I just don't want to step on anyone else's toes and do a live stream and someone else is doing it. Not because I'll be stealing their viewers, just because their viewers won't be watching my live stream. So, yeah, Friday night kind of works for me, Saturday night, something like that. I know we have a few people in the US and across the world, so there's never a good time for everyone. It just kind of fits with my life. The kids are all gone to bed, so I get a bit of free time. I can have a chat with you lot. But I'm not seeing anything else coming through, so what we'll do is say thank you very much to everyone that's joined us tonight, and thank you for the super chats. Discus Keepers and Johan, if you can, please go and share this somewhere or give it a like. That tells YouTube that it's not a complete waste of time, and they show my stuff to a few more people, and we get a few more viewers and a few more subscribers, hopefully. Do not hold your fart until next time. That's over a week away. That'll do you some proper damage. When I add the breeding couple to the show tank, are they going to rearrange hierarchy? Probably. I'm not entirely sure. I'll save that for another day. I might get rid of some of my discus as well, and then move slowly more to my Martin Ung discus and get more and more of them. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to mix them around. So I am moving discus around at the moment between tank to tank to try and get that right, but we'll see. But yes, if I was to add some new discus in, especially if they were adults, they would have a bit of a war for a few days, no doubt. So, yes, thank you. I was in the middle of leaving there, but all the questions come in at once. See, that's that delay thing again. Thank you for the live stream, Anna Smith. Thank you for joining me. I can sit here and talk to myself. It doesn't really matter. People like you that turn up make it worth it. But yes, share it around, give it a like, drop links into groups and forums and say, look, there's this big fat idiot that's talking about fish and other related things. Go and check him out. That would really help me out. And yeah, thank you for coming. We'll leave it there. Goodbye, down the wormhole, Sandy Doty, the knackered Aquarius. I like that name. Yeah, it is a great name. Yes, thank you for joining me, everyone, and we'll catch you again next time. Probably Friday, probably Saturday. Just hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, and you'll find out. I'll hopefully give you more than an hour's notice next time. As always, bye.